Still trying to understand. It isn't customary for me to spend much time reading the letters to the editor in the Sunday New York Times, but the headline last Sunday grabbed my eyeballs. Vote for Trump again or switch? Those who plan to switch were doing so for the standard reason of Trump's incompetence, dishonesty, cruelty, and endangerment of our country and the world. I'm particularly interested, though, in what those who intend to vote for Trump again had to say. What are they seeing that I'm missing? What do they value that I'm blind to? Mr. Tom Edwards of Live Oak, Texas wrote, "Yes, I'll be voting for Donald Trump again, and proudly so. Why? He is the classic American underdog story. He not only has to combat the raging left with its give away the store mentality, but also 95% of the media, which is hell-bent on reporting something ominous in his every twitch and sneeze and tweet. Get over yourselves, guys. He might not fit your preconceived ideals of presidential, but that's just fine with me. The ball is moving forward, and that's what's important." Mr. Edwards left me less informed than I had hoped. For example, he somehow sees Trump as an underdog. This is the same New Yorker who started with millions, was propped up by his daddy with yet more millions, and who managed to leverage his being constantly financially coddled into bankrupting 4 casinos and 2 other businesses. In what way was or is he an underdog? And why is Trump's imagined underdogness a compelling reason for Mr. Edwards to vote for him? Mr. Edwards also apparently sees Trump as a victim, specifically of the media. If Trump is a victim, why is that a reason to vote for him? Further, I want to ask him if he felt the same way as other presidents were being fried by the media. Mr. Edwards is fine with Trump not fitting the New York Times preconceived ideals of presidential, and it appears from his tone that he has an attitude toward the media over those very ideals. Exactly what preconceived ideals is he thinking of? He doesn't help us to understand, leaving us to imagine that massive cruelty, constant lying, and inviting foreign intervention into our elections, while not presidential, is okay with Mr. Edwards. I need to help to understand why he's good with that. Another writer, Mr. Alexander Goldstein of Brooklyn, New York, used most of his letter to attack ideas from the left. That's okay, I suppose, in that the survey invited reasons to switch from Trump or to continue to support his candidacy, which thereby invited reasons not to switch. Fair enough. But the solitary focus on attacking others, whataboutism, is a constant for Trump supporters, and it completely misses the point. To be fair to Mr. Goldstein, he offered one positive reason to stay with Trump, writing, "Donald Trump has taken bold, unprecedented steps on foreign policy and trade." I have to agree with that. But just what are those bold, unprecedented steps to which Mr. Goldstein refers? Attacking our friends and allies? Cozying up to autocrats and murderers? Imposing tariffs that are both sadistic and masochistic at the same time? Picking fights as his opening gambit in negotiations, none of which have proven to benefit America? Come on, Mr. Goldstein, get specific so that we can learn something. Otherwise, Mr. Edwards and Mr. Goldstein have done what nearly all Trump supporters do. They, 1, emulate Trump, offering bold claims, and they offer no substance to support those claims. And 2, they make claims that aren't true at all. And 3, they attack others with whataboutism and commonly use that as a deflection. Whatever clarity I found from these Sunday Times readers is more inferred than laid bare. The support of Trump, not of conservatism, but of Trump, doesn't seem to be firmly rooted in policy or achievements. Rather, it appears that it is an almost entirely visceral thing, a witch's brew of anger, testosterone, and otherism born of betrayal and a longing for power. Supporters are satisfied that he's fighting, raging against the machine that has betrayed them, and they don't really seem to care whether he wins his fights, as long as he continues to duke it out. And they don't really seem to care who gets hurt in the process either. To fully understand the impact of what all that brings us, read Eugene Robinson's clear-headed piece, "This is the Reality of Trump's America," in the Washington Post. I'm Jack Altshuler.